USA Fencing Board Director, wrote opus in support of trans athletes before disqualifying female fencer from tournament over protest. A director on the USA Fencing Board once published an opus in support of trans athletes less than 2 years before the athletic organization disqualified a female fencer from a tournament because she refused to compete against a trans opponent. Damien Lehfeldt, the board's elected at-large director, outlined his staunch position in a long-winded, there's Odito 30, 2023 blog post in which he defended the right of trans fencers to compete against women, despite conceding they may have a physical advantage. There is a possibility that transgender women have a physical advantage over their cisgender opponents after transitioning, the board member wrote. There's also a possibility they do not. In fencing, there's no data to support either viewpoint. Giving athletes a sense of belonging and a will to live is more powerful than medals and competitive glory, continued. Transgender women are women, and gender is not sex, he insisted, adding, transgender fencers deserve the right to compete with the gender they identify with. Lehfeldt was part of the board that expelled Stephanie Turner from the Cherry Blossom Open in Maryland over the weekend because the 31-year-old opted to take a knee rather than compete against trans fencer Redmond Sullivan, a move that critics have ripped as unjust. A now viral video of the March 30 incident shows Turner preparing to duel before she abruptly takes off her mask, tosses it aside, and kneels in front of her stunned-looking opponent. Sullivan is a sophomore athlete on the Wagner College women's fencing team. When I took the knee, I looked at the ref and I said, "I'm sorry, I cannot do this. I am a woman, and this is a man, and this is a women's tournament, and I will not fence this individual," Turner told Fox News of her decision. Redmond says to me, "Well, there's a member on the board of directors here who supports me, and there's a policy that acknowledges me as a woman, so I'm allowed to fence, and you will get black carded," Turner told the outlet. And I said, "I know." Sure enough, a referee dealt Turner, who competes out of the Fencing Academy of Philadelphia, a black card, the sport's highest form of penalty that signals automatic expulsion from the tournament. USA Fencing maintained Turner's disqualification was not related to any personal statement, but was merely the direct result of her decision to decline to fence an eligible opponent. The current policy for transgender and non-binary competitors was updated in 2023, the sport's governing body said. In his blog post that year, Lehfeldt recalled how a friend of his, Geraldo, had become Rhonda, and in doing so became her authentic self. She wasn't a boy afraid of his own shadow anymore, but a confident, strong young woman who suddenly was who she was always meant to be, he wrote. Lehfeldt ripped legislation to ban trans athletes' participation in sports as just as insidious as bans of cisgender women, and insisted that no one transitions with the intention of gaining a physical advantage over their cisgender peers. One day my daughter may compete against a transgender woman. She might win, she might lose. I hope I've done a good enough job articulating the depth of the issue that she doesn't care about the outcome and that both she and her opponent simply enjoyed the bout, Lehfeldt wrote.